Hi, this is Sanjay Parihar. I'm from Houston, Texas. I'm a technologist. And as we mentioned that we are going to get very notable face of tour and travel industry. And here we are, one of the, it's definitely our honor to have you here, Mr. M NAJEEB. We welcome you over in the show. Mr. M NAJEEB, he's the chairman of AT Group of Companies and executive director of Kerala Institute of Medical Science. Welcome to our show, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you, Mr. NAJEEB. And Mr. Rohit is also along with us in this discussion. Hello, Mr. Rohit.
Thank you, Rohit. Thank you, Rohit.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So let me ask some of the very interesting questions. A man with 19 ventures in different aspects of business, starting from hospitality industry to hospital, from export to infrastructure. I mean, you have successfully explored many industries. Tell us about your journey. Reaching to this point requires a lot of passion and persistence as such. I mean, it is not just a simple thing to reach here. We are very keen to hear your inspiration journey. And the reason why I'm asking, because COVID-19 brought a lot of negative side of the life. By understanding your journey by youth, it will be definitely encouraging to our audience. So could you please share some light on that?
Yeah, Sanjay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your question about my basic background. Mm-hmm. You know, I was actually a graduate and subsequently a postgraduate, diploma holder for journalism. Then I did my post-graduation, also. So while I was studying for my journalism, I wanted to actually become a journalist. So it's quite interesting. Yeah. So when I was studying for journalism, I had a friend of mine who was a classmate who was taking the evening classes in that course from Indian Airlines. Mm-hmm. Right, that is a deviation point for me to come into the travel and tourism sector. I had another classmate of mine who was doing my graduation, who was doing his graduation with me, was also for this journalism. Mm-hmm. And we three became very good friends. Their names are Mr. Rajan Thomas Verghese, mm-hmm. and Mr. Priyan Chako Umar. Mr. Priyan Chako Umar was from the Indian Airlines, who was my classmate. Mm-hmm. So we became friends, and very accidentally I started a very small travel company under the influence of Mr. Uman, only for the purpose of making some small money to spend that money in the evening. Because if you get some money, we can spend that money, because he was earning, but both me and Rajan were not earning. Mm-hmm. And fortunately, I'm from a village a village away from Trivandrum, about 20 kilometers away from Trivandrum, and that place, a lot of people were going to Gulf at that time. So a lot of people were coming to Indian Airlines office to buy the ticket, confirm the ticket, and things like that. So he told me, why don't you start a small travel company so that we will get some service charges, which money we can spend in the evening, because all three of us were very actively involved in reading books and discussing literary, activities, and we were thrilled with that. Talking about various writers about and things. So those days are it's about 40 years back. Those days were the time of talking about existentialism, right? We are talking about Camus, we are talking about Dom Marais, and we are talking about so many Shakespeare and so many international writers and things like that. Because all three of us, both of us, the two of us studied, myself and Rajan studied English literature, so we were very keen to discuss it. So we started in a small scale, and then suddenly I realized that it's a very good, interesting field, because I started meeting people there. A lot of people used to come to talk to me, and then I started asking there their experiences in the Middle East. So people were actually sharing their experience because those people were from the village, from my own village and nearby places. So that was quite interesting to me. And I was reading a lot of books at that time, so I was also a writer. I was writing short stories, and I was writing that. I was writing some poems. I was in the college days. I was actually involved in acting, different dramas and things like that. So very much, in those backgrounds, I was very passionately listening to the stories of people. And then I later realized after our course, my friend told me, Najeeb, fine, thank you very much. You can close down your shop. You can continue with your profession. You want to go for another job or something like that because, your family will have a lot of, vision for your life and things like that. So I said no. He said, you're surprised to hear that no from me. I said, Mr. Uman, I would like to, we call him as Umachan. I said, I like this field. I'm quite interested because this is a field where you can meet a lot of people, and I'm a people-oriented person. So I want to take this as a career or a profession and take it forward. So he told me it's not going to be easy for you because a lot of difficulties to getting IATA approval at that time is not a joke. There were only 2 or 3 agents in Kerala. I said, whatever it may be, I would like to give it a try. So I took it seriously, tried my best. I had a lot of innumerable difficulties and roadblocks, but I did not leave it. I fought it, and finally, for an IATA approval, those days it used to take about 6 months to 9 months time. But in my case, it took about 2 years and 3 months because it was rejected. Then you had to reapply. A lot of if you start talking about that, you will not end anywhere because a lot of obstacles. But fortunately, I overcome that and got the IATA approval. Then started moving forward with a decent office and things like that. Then started, and immediately another 2 years, 3 years time, I became a number one, ticketing agent in South India. Then, then I have expanded my business activities to, 2-3 locations in Kerala, and then subsequently to Chennai and Bangalore, and expand the activities. So the advantage, I found it very interesting because I was very passionate. I thought this is my profession. Then I realized I learned about tourism. Then I looked at the tourism potentials in the state, and I also realized that Kerala is beautiful, our nature is excellent, our cuisine is very good, our culture is very good, but unfortunately there is no promotion at all. Then I tried to explore in that level and establish a new company called the Great India Tour Company. And then we moved out to Berlin and UK for first time in 90s for presenting Kerala there. At that time, Kerala tourism was not there, and the Kerala tourism was not there. But we moved out. I myself and a friend of mine, two, three friends, including my classmate who was in journalism. I pulled him back into my business. He was also a founder of my business. So 3 of us founded it, but we carried together. And Rajan also joined me, and we started moving to Berlin and other places to see what is there, how the promotions happen. Then we came back after understanding what is happening, and then we made a brochure of Kerala. We started promoting. Then we came back and told Kerala tourism. We said our potential is for tourism. There is a lot of scope. Let's start promoting Kerala as a tourism destination. So next year, we took Kerala tourism there. We took Kerala's tourism there and projecting Kerala's nature and culture and cuisine and experiences. At that time, there was no hotel in Kerala. Not many hotels, very small, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 hotels in the private sector and government sector. But at the destination, connectivity was very bad. A lot of negatives, but we did not project any negatives. We only projected positives and started promoting Kerala. And so we grew along with Kerala tourism, and we have expanded our activities, business activities, and fortunately we have been successful and established our activities very well.
Wow, wow, what a great journey.
That's it. That's it. That's a nutshell. That's a nutshell of the story. But I just want to pinpoint this incident is very, this is a very accidental, entering into a field of tourism, travel and tourism, and because of a classmate of mine.
Mhm.
And also, I want to mention one incident. One incident was, I was actually traveling from my village town to Trivandrum for this journalism studies in a bus.
Mhm.
So a friend of mine who was a neighbor to me, he was in the Middle East. His name is Babu. He came and told me, Najeeb, you are going to the city. I have a ticket of Gulf Air.
Uh-huh.
Why don't you go to the Indian Airlines office and get this confirmed and give it to me? I said, no problem. I said, give it to me because I have a friend of mine who is from Indian Airlines and my classmate, I'll give it to you. So that is a connecting point of the whole turning point.
Wow.
He gave me the ticket, I gave it to my friend, he confirmed it and gave it back to him. Then, when we were looking to make some money to spend in the evening for our coffee in the coffee shop, to spend that money, he told me, listen, you're from a place of, Middle East people are there.
Mhm.
You brought a ticket, I remember, to confirm it. So let's explore that. So just coincidence of two small incidents, one incident of this ticket, another incident of a classmate of mine, then a third incident that we want some money to spend in the evening without asking for the families. So that the whole thing turned out to be a successful story of travel and tourism in a business activity.
Wow, wow.
I can't. Sorry that I can't. I cannot be more brief than this.
I mean, this is a very condensed version of the entire gamut of the experience. I mean, I'm sure that the experience would be much more, and we definitely want to hear. But definitely, this is very inspiring and very encouraging to everybody at this moment. That keep continuing. It's a kind of message I'm hearing from you, right? So this is such a great message, Rohit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's perfectly. When Mr. Najeeb was talking about that he took the Kerala tourism to Berlin. In fact, like nowadays, what happens? The India tourism and the Kerala tourism are request like the hoteliers and the tour operators to come and join some travel show. And that time it was the other way around. Mr. Najeeb was asking the Kerala tourism to come and join there. That's so great. In fact, like I was going through and realized probably you are the one of the founder member for the KTM, Kerala Travel Mart. And after that, we noticed like the tourism in the Kerala, which enhanced very exponentially. How did you perceive this idea, Mr. Najeeb?
No, actually, we used to go, and from those days onwards, I was actually part of the a government of India delegation immediately after I visited this, first time London and ITP Berlin, WTO. I came back and Mr. Madhavrao Sindhya was the Civil Aviation and Tourism Minister at that time. He was actually taking a delegation of Government of India to visit various European countries to promote India tourism. So I was surprised because I was selected from the South India to represent South India at that time. I did not do much in tourism at that time, but I don't know, my name came in and they asked me whether I'm willing to go. I said I'm willing to go, and then I went. And long enough, there were only 5 people. There were only 4 people from 4 regions, and himself and Secretary of Tourism Government of India, who was his name is B.K. Goswami, and Madhavrao Sindhya, and his private secretary. He was an IPS officer at that time. Then he became the IP director and retired a couple of years back, Mr. Asif Ibrahim. So Mr. Goswami, Asif Ibrahim, Mr. Madhavrao Sindhya, his wife, and myself and 3 other colleagues from 3 regions. So we went for a 14 days tour to entire Europe, in Spain, in Paris, in Germany, then London, and came back. That was a extremely good experience in my life because I got a good exposure for international tourism, because in different places tourism is happening in different style. I was trying to learn what is happening. Then in Spain, in Madrid, there was a presentation by India Tourism In fact, Mr. Sindhia made his opening remarks, and then he said, "I have a young friend, Mr. M NAJEEB, with me. He's from Kerala. Kerala is known for its beauty, and I still remember a place called Triluxo is known as the Venice of the East. So I will request Mr. NAJEEB to make a presentation for Kerala and South." I was thrilled. I didn't expect it. He never told me about it, so I was very thrilled. But I made a presentation because I had a short movie. This is just immediately after India winning the first World Cup, and Kapil Dev was the captain of Indian team. What I did is I made a short film that Kapil Dev leading the team, and the team spirit and things like that. So I then, along with some shots of Kerala and everything, I presented it, and that was very well liked by the people there. So like that, it's a different kind of. See, tourism itself, if you ask me, tourism is always a relationship. It happens on a relationship. It goes on based on experiences, nothing else. Because if you visit a place and if you have a wonderful experience, then you come back or go back to that place. That's the way it happens everywhere in the world.
Right.
And if you have a bad experience in that place, with that place, of the people of that destination, you will never go back there. So this is actually a good situation for it. Then I was participating in these marts continuously, in London and Berlin and probably a few other parts in Paris and other places. And when he came back, he wanted to have. I was actually talking to one of my friends in Berlin, stating that we will have. Why don't we have a mart in Kerala for Kerala? And I just shared that idea to a friend of mine who was a consultant of the Kerala Tourism Advertising Agency. So he immediately shared that opinion to Amitabh Khan, who was the CEO of BDIO now, who was the Secretary of Tourism at that day there. And I came back. And when I came back, I had to go to Cochin for a personal work. Then Jose Dominic called me and said, Jose Dominic is another person, leader of the hospitality industry. He called me and said, can we meet tomorrow in Cochin, tomorrow morning? Because we have to have a very important discussion in Cochin. I said, I'm in Cochin tonight. So I was actually in my brother-in-law's place. I said, okay, fine, fair enough, we'll stay back. So that was the beginning of the first meeting of the Kerala Travel Mart formation. So we discussed about a society for promoting Kerala as its own destination. And then Amitabh Khan said, listen, you gather together, you form a society, let the government be part of it as a minority member, and let's take it forward and forward. You take the leadership and you do it. The government is as a captain, there will be a support. So that's the beginning of the Kerala Travel Mart coming up. And the first Kerala Travel Mart we brought about 450 international buyers there.
Wow.
And 450 international buyers and another about 200-300 domestic buyers for that mart in Cochin. And that was the beginning. In fact, then we had conducted 10 marts so far in 20 years' time, every 2 years, one mart. And this September is going to be another mart. We don't know whether it is going to happen because of COVID or not, whether we have to go forever. So I was president of, Jose Dominic was the first president, and then I became the president. I have continued for 6 years. 3 terms I became the president for Kerala Travel. See, what we have done is we have gathered together all the entrepreneurs of tourism industry. He said, you all become the members. And we are all competitors, that's no problem. But let's compete with each other outside, but let's be together here to promote tourism for Kerala and to promote business for us ourselves. This society is formed for the industry, by the industry, and for the benefit of the industry. So, and it's a non-profit organization. And that's the way, nobody could do from such an organization in India so far at all. Only 2 years back, after a lot of persuasion, when Alphonse Kondakkaran became the tourism minister, they formed an ITM. ITM is India Tourism Mart. And they formed a mart The first part was about 250 international buyers, and second part was about 300 international. So, but we have every year we have 1,500 buyers between domestic and international, almost about 40 to 50% international buyers representation, and everybody is hosted by the industry. That's the beauty.
Wow.
Everybody is hosted by the industry for a week in Kerala and showcase Kerala to them, not only for the mart. After the mart, we take them all around Kerala and tell them, see, wherever, whichever destination you want to go for, one or two destinations, you select the destination, register us, we are taking them with us, and we are showcasing the Kerala tourism products to them, and that's the way they have a right hand experience and they go for it. They go back with good memories and come back with tours. So that's the KTM, and KTM actually did a very good growth for Kerala tourism year after year, and even in the worst times, because of KTM, we could move forward.
Wow. I mean,
it's
such a great contribution on KTM. I mean, it's another big effort. And if we look into
very. The credit goes, Sanjay. The credit goes to the industry. See, some of us, and also one point I just want to say that irrespective of anybody become the president of KTM, like Jose Dominic or myself or subsequent presidents, everyone support KTM without any kind of personal reservations. Because when I became the president, all the others supported. When somebody else became the president, I told them, listen, your KTM should be better than my KTM. Year after year, we should improve it. Not that my KTM should be best and your KTM should be bad. And when another person became president, all of us get together and tell that person, your KTM should be better than all three of our KTMs.
Wow.
So that's the way we work out, because it's very good attitude we had shown, and we have supported the new presidents and new team of office bearers very well to conduct a better KTM than the previous KTMs. So that actually has
there's a lot of work which you have done as part of Kerala Mart, and if I see your business, I mean, apart from business, you are also associated with IATO, and there's a lot of work there. What is the future planning if we talk about just IATO as such?
IATO is a very good organization of tour operators. It's a very prestigious organization which is there for the last so many years, and veteran leaders have become the become the presidents of that organization. And fortunately, I am involved in IATO for the last over 30-35 years. Because I met Mr. Goyal years back in one of these fam trips of airlines. So we became very good friends. And there was no representation in South India and Kerala at that time for IATO. So he told me, Najeeb, you are the person, you start, and I'm appointing you as a chapter chairman for Kerala, and subsequently he appointed me as a South India chapter chairman. And I was representing tourism in the entire South, in different states, representing IATO, involving the governments, involving with the trade, and promoting IATO. And last year, then I became once I was in the National Executive Committee, and in the last 2 years, I'm also as a senior vice president of IATO. See, IATO is a prime body for the tour operators, the active tour operators, the allied and associate tour operators. The destination management companies are actually promoting it. The tour operators are actually promoting destination. Hospitality sector always, as all of us know, they promote their property. And they say, in Rajasthan, I have a property, please come and visit. Their promotion ends there. We say the whole of India. We showcase the whole of India. We talk about every state. We talk about every destination. We talk about every products. We talk about every services. We talk about every experiences, and we take care of them with all connecting points like transportation, hotel accommodation, guide servicing, food, culture, and so on, and entertainments, and so many things. And that's the role of the tour operator. And tour operator is actually the main personality or main organization for promoting a national destination in any country, not only India, but any country. If you look at it, their role is inevitable and their contribution is substantial.
Wow.
And IATO, we work very closely, we work very together to promote India as a destination. The Ministry of Tourism discuss with each and every decision. Before they take a decision, they discuss with IATO and they take their inputs from IATO and we tell them, and most 99.9% of things Ministry of Tourism decides in consultation with IATO and also as recommended by IATO. So IATO's role in promoting tourism in India is absolutely great and absolutely substantial. And the industry players like us, we contribute. We try our best to contribute a lot for promoting India as an incredible destination.
Absolutely great. Absolutely great. And now my next question on the same line. I mean, your footprints are from hospitality to travel to aviation to many other and hospitals. Now, let me ask this question. With COVID-19, a lot of things will be changing post COVID-19. This is what it sounds like. How the transport will change in the post COVID-19 era?
You're talking about transport or
transport as such, or overall industry?
See, I tell you, transportation industry, right? Aviation.
Yes.
See, you look at one example. We had 9/11, right? Before 9/11, what was our situation? After 9/11, what is our situation? After 9/11, we are subject to complete security screening everywhere. Either when you step out of the house, you are screened at the road by security because you are under camera surveillance, right? At the airports, high security because they check everything. Then before entering in aircraft, they check everything. Before being in a hotel, you are checked. So there has been a lot of change which has happened after 9, right? After COVID-19, it is going to be a different check. This is not going to be the security check, but this is going to be a health check. Right? So that is what we are going to experience, and that's what probably we are experiencing it now, because we are having social distancing. And today I had one of my cousin's daughter was getting married. We were only in 2 families. We were only 40 people. We have taken a hall of 300 or 400 people could sit in that hall, and we have kept 40 people were sitting out of 15 people who were on the stage and 25 people were downstairs, and keeping the distancing and keeping the masks, right? So this is a totally different experience. Otherwise, if COVID-19 was not there, this would have been a barrage of 2,000 people. So we have learned to live. We have already learned to live a new, different life. The transportation industry is going to play a very important role for the future, because the problem we face today is in the transportation industry. In civil aviation, people are scared to travel because we don't know whether the other person has got COVID-19 or not, COVID or not. So, they have apprehensions, and then if you travel, then you have to be quarantined. Then after quarantine, you have to recheck whether you have COVID or not. So a lot of formalities everyone is going through when people are traveling at present. Probably, I think it will be eased out after some time. Probably after a couple of months or 2, 3, 4 months, it will be eased out. Probably during this Diwali, things will be far better. But still, restrictions will be there. There's no doubt about it. Restrictions will continue for travel. Travel will not be that easy for the next at least about 2-3 years. People have to be careful in traveling. The apprehension will continue with the people when they travel. They will suspect the neighboring person who's sitting in the next seat whether he has got COVID or not. Because see, just look at experience. Last week, a lot of flights have been coming to Kerala, taking people from the Middle East.
Uh-huh.
And before that, we had only 15 cases in Kerala, total COVID patients. After people started coming from other states as well as Middle East, our cases have become average 50 and 60 per day. And yesterday, when the government has announced 2 persons are from cabin crew, and 2 cabin crew persons also got COVID. So that means, it can spread. It clearly shows it can spread unless we have a vaccine and unless we effectively control and contain it. These restrictions will carry on. But essentially, people have to travel. There is no choice because people have to travel for many reasons. Official, probably like we are doing it, we can have an interview on Zoom. But official discussions can probably 50% or 60% or 75% of things will happen on Zoom or the video conferencing or webinars. But the family travel has to happen, the holiday travel has to happen, the joining travel has to happen, the student travel has to happen, and the patient travel has to happen. There are so many segments of travel will happen, and it has to carry on. So you cannot say no travel. No travel for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, fine, but not beyond that.
Right.
But government has already, all the governments, not only India government, many governments has come out with different protocols for travel. And today the airlines are ready for accepting that protocols with the safety protocols and conduct the transportation industry very well. I think, and the passengers are ready to abide that, and they want to travel because they have no choice, and they are ready to abide those protocols and travel, either taking a risk or they have no alternative other than travel.
Right. Well, very, very well said there. And so many entrepreneurs look towards you as a role model, right? And they are going through, their ups and downs, before, and it's not related with the COVID-19 in general. What's your advice and what's your mantra to them? I mean, what are the things they should look out in the life and should not worry about that? What are the things when they need to pivot and think something different? What's your thought on that?
No, I tell you, this is you're talking about mantra.
I mean, yeah.
You're talking about
yeah. Yes.
No, see, for success, in my opinion, there is no magic.
Right.
There is no magic. For success, you have to work hard. Earlier days, working hard and hard and hard. Today, people are saying they're working smart and smart and smart. You whether working smart or working hard, you have to actually work hard and get things and get into greater heights. Right. You cannot you will not get a lottery, or once in a while somebody will get a lottery, but not everyone can get a lottery to move forward. There are principles for that. That principle is not you, the team. Most important thing is for every success there has to be a team. Without team, you cannot be successful. And building up a good team and guiding that team properly, motivating that team properly, inspiring that team properly, and supporting that team properly, and even if they commit mistakes, and you should support them, and you should allow them to commit mistakes, and still you have to support them and guide them, correct them, and taking them taking them along with you to move forward. And also, most important thing is empowering them. Empowering them is also very important, because they have to have an ownership for the organization. I will not tell my staff, you come at 9:30 alone and go at 5:30. I said, you come at whatever time you want, but office timings are 9:30 to 5:30. People come at 8 o'clock and start working till 8 o'clock in the evening. People come at 9:30 or 10 o'clock and go up to 5 o'clock and go. But most of the people come early, most of the people go late, and I tell them, please don't sit late. You go home, spend some time with your family, but important thing is you do your work and go. That's important. and finish your work and go, so that you don't have to worry about hassles and problems subsequently. So, but I leave them. I leave it them and leave them freely to do their job, so that they believe in themselves and they do it. Whenever my interference is required, they come to me and I support them. There's no problem. So very few occasions only I had to take disciplinary actions against people who were not performing in this. Otherwise, my this policy has been working out very well, and I build up a team and tell them, they run the organization on their own. I go for monitoring, I go for review, and tell them, please change it like this and move forward. So that has been so far so good, and fortunately, I'm probably fortunate for that situation. Every organization has got a team. But like hospital, it's quite different, because hospital, my brother is the chairman and managing partner. He's full-time there. He has got a tremendous amount of number of people for team, and tremendous amount of effort is required, because coordinating between doctors and nursing staff and paramedical staff and patients. We handle about in Trivandrum alone, we handle about 2,000 patients a day. So it's a big deal.
Wow.
So there, it's a full-time work with very close monitoring in quality of delivering the healthcare systems. He is American trained. He was in Aramco for 25 years, so he is well versed with that. And he and his team and his classmates and friends, and my wife is also working there as an officer. So they are on their own. I give a support from outside, or go for meetings and board support, as well as non-medical segment support. I give it to make it more successful. That's what we do there. But important thing is the commitment of the team, working together, right? And their spirit is the success of any organization. I believe in God, and I pray to God every day, 5 times. So I pray for all my staff, my family, for all my staff, my organization, and I support them whenever they need my support. And basically, that's the way I could be. If you say it's successful, I could say that it's successful.
Wow. Such a modest and such a, I mean, that's a good explanation. And, one question definitely comes in my mind. There are different industry you are handling, and every industry has its own different sort of requirement about the, experts or good employees to hire. Their different skill set. How do you manage to hire different skill sets? And you definitely mentioned about how you motivate. What are the things you look at when you hire a people and when you build a team in different area? Because hospital requirement is different from travel industry. How do you do that part?
The hospital is different industry, because there you need the best doctors.
Yeah, exactly.
Well experienced, well qualified. You're well experienced, well qualified, and doctors with a lot of dedication, and doctors with a lot of quality, and with a lot of commitment, as well as with a lot of ethics there. Otherwise, you cannot run a medical institution. And all the other things, you can train people. Qualified staff you take and train them, and put under strict training, and then give them strict protocols for everything. For treatment, for treating a patient, or doing anything. Because we are accredited internationally and nationally, and we put very clear protocols for each action of by them with a patient. So they cannot change that protocol at all, because there has been a very good monitoring system there, whether they are doing anything. And also incident reporting. Even if they do something wrong, they can always report as an incident that this has complained, done wrongly. Then we'll correct them, and we'll move forward. So there, it's very strict monitoring with very highly motivated and highly committed, dedicated, ethical staff. That is what is required in the healthcare sector. But in tourism sector, in travel sector, it's totally different. There you need people, of good attitude, good positive support, good positive mind. people with smile, right? People who are ready to help people who are ready to acquire the knowledge of tourism and impart that knowledge of tourism to the customers. So there are different criteria for different segments. But ultimately, what is required is a person. Basic qualification of a person is very important. A person with qualification, but a person is willingness to work hard with good attitude is a key factor for success of any organization.
Wow.
This is what I have learned from my experience. See, you don't need to have a PhD person to work in tourism. You need a person with a basic common sense to understand the customer requirements and ready to help that person is the most important factor. And his commitment is very important. His attitude is very important. And he should put himself into the shoes of the customer and imagine and then extend his service to the customers. That's the kind of persons we require in tourism. Otherwise, tourism will be a failure.
Wow. So kind of a customer-centric, customer-first approach, even that is helping you to serve and as well as hiring the right people from different industry. And that is very interesting to hear about that. Rohit, isn't it?
Yeah, it is actually. And, when you hire the staff, like it's really, you need to be really concerned, like how to select the right person so that the customers are happy. In fact, like in your discussion, you just mentioned like during the COVID-19, it will take a couple of months, like maybe 4 months, 5 months, or maybe 6 months. And the tour operator like us, like who are completely dependent on the inbound tourism business, may take a year time. So it's a really tough time for them. So what would be the advice of yours to them, how to sustain for this 6 months of maybe for 1 year, Mr. Najeeb?
No, I think, Rohit, that's a good question. I've been talking about that in every webinar and wherever I had an opportunity, because see, international business will take place only in 2021 September. There's no doubt about it. Because, we are not going to have, inbound business before that. If we get it, well and good, we are lucky. But we should not expect it, because a lot of, travel restrictions, visa restrictions, then economic reasons, then apprehensions, all these things have to be completely eased out. Then only people will travel for holiday. And as far as India is concerned, that Indian source markets are completely down with COVID. Like either it's UK or France or Germany or Italy or US is all in a mess now. So it's not going to be easy for us to expect tourists from there to have a holiday in India or in Kerala. But the important thing is to survive till such time by a tour operator is not easy. Not at all easy. Of course, there was a rule by the government of India saying that you have to pay salaries to everyone. But unfortunately, by Supreme Court has struck off that order now. So, domestic business can happen to an extent only. It will also not happen in the desired way at all, because you see, even the states are acting like countries now, because states have a lot of restrictions now, because a lot of issues are happening in different states, so that it's not easy for also the state to allow another state's person. Like Karnataka has just prohibited people or vehicles to come to Karnataka from 5 states. So they are afraid because we can't blame them. So similarly, even domestic travel, it will take time. I was only thinking domestic travel of inside the state can happen. For example, in Kerala, if 10 million people are visiting, Kerala as a destination as domestic traveler, 6 million are from Kerala. So increase that to 10 million, so that your domestic is protected. So that is the way it happens. So important thing that how the tour operator community, the staff members, the entrepreneurs survive till such time. So we have been requesting the government to give us some package. Government of India, government of different state governments have been represented by IATO, and various organizations like FHRI, FAITH, everyone has been requesting to give us some packages. So far, no government has given. So far, till this time, A lot of proposals have been, under discussion at various stages, including Government of India has been discussing about it. See, the best way is to have a soft loan to the tourism industry, because government will not be able to pay any subsistence allowance for the tourism industry because they don't have that kind of money with them. So it's difficult. And if they give it to one industry, they may have to give it to all the other industries. Like migrant workers or other, low pay, very low paid people, they can extend it to a certain extent, not beyond that. But you cannot. Ours is a very highly, distinguished industry. So you cannot go and say that you need subsistence allowance, and government will be laughing at that. But actually, people are suffering because everybody is crying and everybody is suffering now. So government should extend a soft loan with a reasonable cost of interest, about 3% or 2% or 5% or something like that, and say, to just carry on their expenses, basic expenses of, basic living for offices as well as for entrepreneurs as well as for employees. This has to be there for 1 year, and the government also has to extend the moratorium. They have extended up to August now, and that also has to be extended for 1 year. So with that, probably they will be able to move. This is one point. The second point is the entrepreneurs should actually look at their resources and take their resources, talk to the staff, understand what is their basic needs, and try to protect them with their basic needs. The entrepreneurs will be able to take more loans than the employee can do, and they can take more loan and they can extend that, saying that okay, next 6 months I will support you, and we support you with basic things, not your salary. Probably 30% of your salary, or 40% of your salary, or 50% of your salary, and every employee will understand that. Every employee will understand that. Every employee will cooperate on that. Because there is no choice for them. Absolutely, there is no choice for them. I have talked to my staff. And said, listen, March I gave full salary, and April I said, sorry, I don't have that kind of money. I'll give you so much of amount, a fixed amount. I'll give you. You decide you among yourself, you decide the calculation of percentage of different segments, and share it. So they said, sir, we agreed to that. And then they wanted some increase in that, which I gave it. So they have survived on April. And May also cited the same thing. And coming months also they said, sir, it's no problem. I said, you start the whole business as a zero business, zero start. From the zero level we have to start. Ideally we should have a daily budget, or we should have a monthly budget at the maximum. And based on that, when you generate more income, you will get more money. But basic support requirement, we will provide funds for you, and you accept that and move forward. Next 1 year, let us survive first, and then we can look at the profits and saving the money and everything. We can look at it later, which has been very, very, very pleasantly accepted by all the staff. So dialogue with the staff is very important, and staff who should also work with the management is very important. And during this COVID-19 and lockdown and problematic situations, try to look at some alternatives also to earn some money. There are so many ways to earn money. Probably in the food industry you can get in, and you can make some money. In the healthcare industry you can get in, you can make some money. So there are various possibilities also there. In the agriculture sector you can enter in, and you can make some money. And these are all additional fringe benefits for your main business. So that will help them to survive. Question is, today you have to survive. Right? You cannot say that I am in the best industry of this world, I will not do anything else. You can't say that. You should be in a position to do anything and everything to make some money in the right and legal way and move forward. And you should have an open mind to receive, to be receptive of such ideas and start working on those things. So that you can survive. If you want to survive, you can see, suppose you are put in the water, you don't know swimming. What will you do? You will try to save, you will try to escape, and you will try to come out somehow, right? So you are in that kind of a situation. We are in a swimming pool now. We had to somehow, swim
Right.
and get out of that. That's the question of survival for our life. Right? So it's important
Right.
that we work in those lines.
Right. Very, very well said about that. And like you said, I mean, there's definitely alternative way of handling that income, and that definitely need to be explored for sure. I mean, this is the high time. Now, but so while we are about to wrap up the conversation, and we definitely have some more questions after the conversation. So please hold on in our show. So, one of your startups basically will continue the planning for the future. There's a lot of future planning you must be doing right now, and you see a future of India travel in a certain way. Tell us more about what's your thought on India travel future and your future planning with respect to that.
You're talking about the future plan of our business, right?
Future plan of future India travel and your planning as well. Yes.
A future plan of traveling. You're talking about Indian tourism and as well as our plan.
Yes.
The future of Indian tourism, it has to do well, in my opinion, because probably if you look at the international situation, even in COVID-19, India has done fairly well. Even though some states are doing bad, still India is far better. Right? India is far better.
Right.
And I'm sitting in a state of Kerala. Kerala has done far better because we have looked after. See, there were a lot of tourists in Kerala during this COVID-19 period. We have looked after every tourist, and there are a lot of COVID patients in Kerala with among the tourists. We have treated them very well, and we have sent back without any casualties, fortunately, and sent back to their countries safely. And the people who have stayed here till the evacuation has happened for them, we have looked after them very well. And every one of them has gone with good memories about Kerala's hospitality, hospitality. So that is one is Kerala side. Even in the national side, Government of India has done a lot in looking after tourists. Of course, their responsibility was the Ministry of Tourism as well as the different states. And the tour operators and the hoteliers have played a very important role in that for looking after the tourists very well and sending them back safely to their destinations. So India will be in their mind, in their positive. That's what I personally think. So tourism, once it's open up, once the restrictions go, and once the economic condition is better, the financial condition is better for the tourists to travel, and people will definitely give a priority for India for holiday. And there are several safe destinations in India. Look at Goa. We have very minimum COVID patients. Look at the entire Northeast. They are doing extremely well. Look at Kerala. They are doing very, very well. So there are several good destinations in India who can be relied on for a safe holiday. Everybody will be looking at safety. Whether it's a safe destination, because safe destination is going to be the mark for for tourism in the future. Safe in terms of health affairs.
Wow.
Earlier, after 9, it was safety and security. But here it's safety and healthcare.
Health hygiene.
So that's the kind of difference which is happening. So I think India stands a good chance for a very selective destination for tourists. For us, we are actually going to project this. We are going to project these positive points and informing them, telling them, please come back and enjoy the holiday in India. And we will look after. If you want to go for a safe destination for a holiday, we offer India, we offer Kerala, we offer Goa, we offer Himachal Pradesh, we offer Uttarakhand, or we offer different destinations. So I think that's the plan we have, and India should do better after all these restrictions.
It will. And how's your plan of business in future? What's your thought on future plan of business at this moment?
I am watching the situation. What is going to happen? But what we are planning to do is, to give thrust for domestic tourism now till 2021, because domestic tourism is going to be comparatively better to promote. So we are actually looking at tying up with the banking institutions to offer holidays to people and have a holiday now and pay later. So that's the kind of offers we are planning to giving, so that it's a motivation for people to go and have a holiday, right? Because everybody will have some financial issues at that point of time, and the bankers have to come in and support the industry. So we have already started talking to the banks, and banks have shown some positive vibes, so that it should work out for domestic. For international, it's going to be different. International people have to decide to travel, and the countries have to remove the restrictions, as I repeatedly said earlier. If that happens, I think people will go. See, people cannot live without travel. See, how long? Travel and holiday is part of everyone's life. There are several factors for that. All of us were sitting at home for how long? For almost 2 months.
2 months,
so we were actually almost 2 months. It was not a completely good experience for all of us, right? We had a lot of limitations, and we had no other choice, so we tried to enjoy that.
Right.
Because if you don't move out and meet people, if you don't move out and meet your friends, and if you don't go for a cup of coffee, or if you don't go out for a dinner, or if you go and take a 2 days break in some of the destinations and come back, it's not going to be a happy situation for you afterward.
True.
Because you were sitting at home doing nothing and doing attending all the webinars and having all the Zoom discussions, and there was no problem. And then you were getting homely food from home, from a wife or parents. There is no problem. But everybody is looking for this situation. Everyone. See, look at many countries like US and other places. People are on the road, right? People are on the road. They are not bothered.
Right.
They are not bothered. They want to be out. Whether COVID or no COVID, they want to be out. But people are taking precautions and moving forward. That's very important. People are taking enough precautions, and they are keeping social distancing. They are wearing a mask, and moving forward. They are very careful in mingling with people. So those things are very good. Those things will be part of life for quite some time, at least for 3, 4, 5 years it will happen. Then only it will change.
Wow. You were about to say something? Sorry.
No, that's it.
Oh, okay. So it's a great. I mean, so there is a future. There is certain transition, and that will kind of redefine few things. Like you said, 9/11 has redefined security. Now this will be a new standard of hygiene or health check that will be coming. So with that thought, Mr. Najeeb, it's definitely an honor to have you here, and in our talk show. We are about to wrap up our call, and we definitely have few questions after the call. So please stay on. But so, is there anything else you want to say in our Triluxo talk show, Mr. Najeeb?
What is the question? Sorry, I didn't hear about the question. Sorry.
So the question is, so while we are about to wrap up the call, is there anything else we missed out and we want to tell to our audience?
See, if you ask me to tell your audience, it's a big lesson in our life, COVID-19, right? I don't think this generation has, that kind of an experience in our life. Did we ever thought that we are going to be sitting at home doing nothing else? For almost a period of 2 months, we never ever thought, right? So we know what has been happening in the world. People have been fighting each other. The countries have been fighting each other. The the different religions have been fighting each other. Different political parties have been fighting each other, and and you have seen the arms deals which is happening. You have seen the competition of business which has been happening. You have seen the discussions and difference of opinions which is happening in the trade treaties, and so on. So such a lot of happenings in the world, and probably sitting at COVID-19 has given an opportunity for us to think about all this, whether it was required, whether all these things was happening, it was actually important and essential or inevitable, whether all these fights have been essential. Why? And also look at the cruelty of many nations to people, many rulers to people. Irrespective of caste, creed, or politics, we have seen such things also. Finally, what has happened? The nature has, sent you an anonymous virus to keep everyone in this world to be to lock up at homes, right? The flights were at the airports, the buses were, the trains were all in their lock-here, right? The cars were at homes, right? And all these things have been completely zero silence in the world, and the nature has been enjoying the nature without pollution, right? And the skies have been enjoying without pollution. So 2 months we have seen a new different world, and the value of, or the what should I say, the
human relationship and human relationship.
There has been a lot of questions. There has been a lot of questions about the essentiality of many things in life. That man has become almost a zero value.
Right.
That's what I feel. That has become a zero value, because today you have power, you have money, you have you have everything, but you could not do anything. With that, you could not do anything. So important thing is, nature has given you a lesson for all of us, irrespective of anything, irrespective of caste, creed, nation, religion, ruling or not ruling, or political or non-political, or social. So, actually speaking, in my opinion, the entire human beings have been grounded by the God.
Right.
Grounded by the God.
True.
Right? You are grounded. You be there. You think about your mission of your life, and you tell me, what can you do now? You have been doing whatever hierarchy you were doing it.
Right.
But now what can you do? Come, you can't do it. So it's a great lesson for people to understand and think the realities of life. And in my opinion, we have to be much more human. The human beings have to show a lot of benevolence to their own, friends and colleagues and family members and all the other human beings. So I personally feel the realities of life is quite different, but we have been forgetting that, and we were being in a mesmerized world, and the God Almighty has put us on ground and made us think about the actual the mission of life. And if we are able to change that, and then completely restructure our life. That's what I feel. Restructure our life into a different mission and vision. That's going to be good for us.
Wow, very well. I mean, it's kind of nature is forcing you for doing a thorough introspection and coming with the right mindset for, like you said, much more human approach and much more human thing to think. I mean, it's a great learning as such for human that there's an almighty God sitting, watching, and sometimes tough. And yeah. So with that thought, Mr. M Najeeb, it's a great honor. It's a great honor for us to have you here in the Triluxo show. And Charlie, please stay on. Our show is this conversation is ending now. Thank you very much for this conversation.
No, thank you very much, Sanjay, and thank you very much, Rohit, for inviting me to have a conversation to you. Any such conversation, please call me.